So here comes not only Mr. Lewis Smith's bulletin, but also one of those rib-tickling introductions which he always pens himself. This week it goes like this. Now, down the line, the man who is to good taste what amoebic dysentery is to a vicarage tea party. Victor Lewis Smith. Then I have to say, Victor, I read in James Fighting Ship's media supplement that you are still a bachelor. Any comments?
Well, frankly, Ned, I reckon what's good enough for my father is good enough for me. Much better. Nothing like a fast forward to clear out the tubes. Now I'll just tune into Radio 4 for maximum relaxation and listening pleasure.
They did, of course.
Strange. Nothing on Radio 4. Except me. I'll tune to Radio 3 News instead. Radio 3, I think that's just left of Derek Jameson. Still, what isn't?
BBC Radio News. A most vile and repulsive crime has been committed in the provinces.
That's terrible. You can't walk the streets these days, can you? I live in the provinces. It's disgusting.
In fact, the hideous felony was perpetrated in York.
In York? That's where I live? Oh, I blame the parents myself, I do.
The filthy, disgustingly unspeakable act was committed by some poor sod's next-door neighbour.
Oh, can you imagine living next door to a common criminal? It is disgusting.
In fact, the next-door neighbour of the common criminal is Mr. Victor Lewis Smith.
Close Mike thinks, fan the fires, that's me. I know what this means. I'll be hounded by the press for comments day and night.
The neighbour, Mr. Lewis Smith, said this morning, fan the fires, that's me. I'll be hounded for comments by the press
at large, day and night. I think you get the drift. The next-door neighbour commits foul crime, gets nicked, blanket overhead, bundled into van, fair cop governor, banged to rights, dodgy childhood, press desperate for quotes. Public have a right to know, intrusion of my privacy, private tragedy, though, is public entertainment. Won't go away until they've got my story, so let's get the interviews over with. Starting with the television film crew.
Okay, loves, roll the cameras, please.
Running.
And mark it.
242, take 6.
Action.
What sort of man was he? Can you describe him for us, please?
Well, he was a laugh-a-minute, outgoing sort of chap, used to play the spoons outside the Duck and Firkin, always dressing up as a clown. Children loved him. He was a very funny man.
Cut it.
Rule number 1. When being interviewed by the telly chappies, they'll be hoping that you'll burst into tears because that's real news. So never say the criminal was a nice, normal person. Always sound demure and use the following stock phrases. Well, he was a bit of a loner, really.
Well, he was a bit of a loner, really, you know what I mean? I mean, sort
Kept himself to himself.
I mean, like, he sort of kept himself to himself, that's all.
Very quiet man he was.
Very quiet man he was. Would you like me to cry now?
Yes, please.
Could you stop the cameras now, please? Because regrets I've had.
Rule number 2, and never break into a sad ballad on the news. Orchestras on location cost a fortune, and musicians are filthy swine who always leave muddy footprints and fag ends all over your Axminster. Excuse me while I just repeat the sound effect of a telephone gag.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Lewis Smith.
Yes?
Hello, this is the Scum newspaper here. Do you have any comment to make about your neighbour?
No comment at all, thank you.
Could I quote you on that?
Yes.
Thank you.
Ah, that'll be the paperboy with my daily copy of The Scum. Good Lord, there's a picture of me in a scout uniform and a headline that says, Neighbour's sexy nights with love cult soccer stud. It says, Mr. Victor Lewis Smith lashed out yesterday in a no-holds-barred Scum exclusive. If my neighbour is ever released, I will maim him in mindless acts of Rambo-style violence. I will blast his evil royal conmen gay plague in sex orgy with teenage Romeo's goat love nest. Strange. Don't remember saying that on the phone. I must have done. It's here in black and white. Of course, you don't have to endure the media. Here's a quick quiz. Due to non-payment, we will be repossessing your vibro massage unit. Sorry, that's the wrong piece of paper. It is possible to turn the tables on the press, and at the same time, you can also make a bit of pocket money. This week, Neddy, Scoop Lewis Smith sells female publishing supremo, sizzling tug of love, death or glory saga. Only the best for woman's realm.
Hello, Woman's Realm.
Hello, it's Scoop Lewis Smith here. That's Woman's Realm, is it?
It is, yeah.
Lovely to speak to you. You may have heard of me. I'm a journalist.
What did you say your name was, sorry?
Well, I'm known in the business as Scoop Lewis Smith.
I haven't, no.
Oh, dear. Not the first, and I don't suppose the last. Actually, I'll write dialogue for that amusing character, you know, Zippy on Rainbow.
Oh, yes.
I do that, and I'll write for a bit for Exchange and Mark magazine. Do you ever take stories at all, in all sincerity?
What is it on?
Well, it's a hot potato. Well, it's a woman's story, anyway.
Yeah.
Woman at number 32 down my street.
Uh-huh.
this is strictly off the record between you and me,
Yep.
for Woman's Realm exclusive,
Yep.
has gone in for Woman's Trouble. Hello?
Hello?
She's gone in for Woman's Trouble.
Yeah.
And everything removed.
Yeah.
Is that the sort of story you're after?
It can be.
Well, it's the talk of the street.
Yeah. Did you come through directly to me?
No, I was put on by a man who said that I should actually phone another place, but that turned out to be a hospital. Okay, so I'm no John Pilger, but when you live in York, woman spills tapioca in supermarket makes front page news. Anyway, for the prurient amongst you, thanks to the wonder of electronic surveillance, I can now reveal just what it was my next-door neighbour did that was so wretched. Just tuning in, I bugged him actually in the act.
Good morning.
Yes, you've guessed it.
It's been a lamentable week.
This man is...
My dog's got no nose.
Ned Sherrin's scriptwriter. That died quick, the canned laughter. No, really. Oh, it's nice getting a laugh from the studio. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. No, really, you're embarrassing me. Please, you have your own lives to lead.
The ebullient Victor Lewis Smith.